Hi all, Junior back with another video. Today we're taking a look at every sort of little painting project I've done so far, including a new one I did recently. I like painting things. I like crafting, much like my old man. You might have seen some of his videos on the channel, the slot cars. But my my precious thing is custom paintworks for diecast cars, particularly 1/64 scale. But here we have, it's the, can't read it. This is the Ford Probe, a Matchbox, just a basic baby blue color. This was inspired by a Micro Machines car I picked up at the same kind of color. I was like, oh, that's nice. And so I painted this the same, because the original color for the Ford Probe was a bit sort of psychedelic, a bit weird. It's like, it would be nice just to look like a normal production car. So I made it sort of like the Ford kind of blue. It's not a fantastic paint thing, and it's definitely sort of showing its age after a few years of being on display, and you could do a bit of cleaning up. But it's just a sort of a painting test, mostly proof of concept stuff. For painting wise, I use Games Workshop paints, as I predominantly paint sort of miniatures for other games. And I think they're acrylic based rather than oil, but they still serve a really good purpose. I should probably switch over to enamel paints at some point, eventually, for these sorts of models. But I think it turns out fine. You can't really tell unless you really sort of have an in-depth look at it, about the paint. This is an old Lesney Matchbox Cadillac ambulance that I did. Again, just a basic proof of concept with the arrows, etc., with the red crosses. Again, it was just sort of a brief project. It doesn't quite look right, to be honest. But it was practice for the most part. This was kind of the paintwork on this was already really badly damaged, so I had to go with it. Next up is a Hot Wheels Rogue Hog. It was just a fantasy thing that I just had lying around. They're not particularly expensive or valuable cars, so I figured why not try it on something that's got a plastic body. I feel like the plastic body ones kind of turns out a little bit better. It's a lot easier to just base coat. I think this one turned out a lot better than my previous attempts. It just looks interesting. Just a nice basic color scheme with some basic highlights in red. It's giving the tires kind of a red wool effect and making it nice and shiny, giving sort of a shiny effect to the engine and things like that. I think the paint was wearing off the original paint was wearing off the wheels anyway, so just a classic just a nice little color scheme. I like the red and green effect. This is a 40-something, which was sort of, again, a bit more of an ambitious thing. Giving sort of red wool effect on the tires, kind of the red line effect. Could be better, but a bit cleaner. Some very, very basic headlight effects. And some very, very basic headlight effects on the back. And sort of a nice two-tone, the big black stripe in the middle with some gold. This was my sort of experiment using gold paint. Seeing how it turns out. I think it looks quite nice. And sort of a red sort of skirt underneath. Again, just a good proof of concept. If I rely on like CAD, these will probably get turned into like better models, etc. And like just for better concepting. You can see how I did a bit better on the wheels this time. This was a slingshot, which I think I'd already attempted to paint at one point, where I picked up from somewhere. I elected not to do the wheels on this one, as the wheels were mostly fine at the time. And I really want to focus on doing a color scheme, which kind of looks like, I guess, like red kind of beast camo kind of thing. Kind of like some of the cars from Highway 35 look a bit like this. I basically sort of a team swap, so to speak. We'll get more into this as I do more of the Highway 35 series, as this does appear in the series, albeit with different wheels. But I was inspired by the back wheels being sort of more dirt-based to try and do like a team swap coloration. Didn't turn out fantastic, but it turned out okay. I can't really do logos yet. Eventually, I might figure out how to do transfers and just transfer some stickers onto this. Just kind of proof of concept. But yeah, it's the slingshot. This is something I'm a bit more proud of. I say proud of. This is a sort of a Pontiac. This is your classic, just a white line in the middle of it, vaguely in the middle. Just some red, again, red walls. Just a basic color scheme, but I think it works well. Maybe I could have done more with the grill. I just wanted to do something, again, it was more like the Firebird kind of color scheme in black, and I was like, I want to make it sort of, again, a little more production car-like. Maybe with a bit of like a sporty flair to it. This people will cry at slightly. This is an Redline, my first attempt at a restoration. Again, didn't turn out fantastic. Some might even say scuffed, but it's fine. The paint on this was very bad, and I had to replace some of the wheels anyway. And I wanted to do a custom job on a Redline anyhow. Again, proof of concept. This time doing like a more of a 1/3 two-tone scheme. I don't have like the yellowy golden colors. I don't have any Spectraflame paints, so I sort of did the best I could with the metallic gold that I have. As even with Games Workshop paints, I don't know how to make other metallic looking colors yet. That's something I need to work on. And then finally, my newest project, which has been done very recently, it's this is the Lamborghini, specifically the Lamborghini Gallardo, in sort of a dark blue and yellow color scheme. It's my first time at making like an actual themed car. So this is themed with a Vault-Tec logo from the Fallout series, since there's going to be a Fallout TV show on I think Amazon Prime soon. So I want to do something kind of cool. The lines are slightly off, but I think the paint is ever so slightly better here. I tried to thin my paints more. The headlights are kind of off slightly, but they look a bit better than my previous attempts. I actually did some paint work on the grills and on the back here as well to make it back to the normal. I felt like using this as practice was okay, as this was literally a duplicate of this. For some reason, I had a second copy of this at one point, this exact same car, so I stripped the paint off. Hot tea technique is really good with this. Basically, put your cars in mostly metal body ones, not plastic. Anything that's got paint on it. If you put it in a box with some tea bags, sort of mix out the water a bit first, and leave it for a couple of days, you can generally get most of the paint off with a brush of some description. Maybe even having to file off a bit of the paint, but it leaves like minimal damage to the metal underneath, at least, is the main thing. But yeah, the Vault-Tec Lamborghini Gallardo. I might remake this again in Forza Horizon, since video game series is really easy to do this kind of paint job in. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, let me know if you have any tips for painting any diecast cars. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please let me know in the comments below, and I shall see you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.